Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Thursday, August 17. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. One of Westmoreland's most wanted, who was on bail and living in St. Elizabeth, was fatally shot on Wednesday evening during an alleged confrontation with the police. He is Vivian Godfrey, also known as Klansman. Reports are that the police were in the Malvern area conducting an operation when they were confronted by Godfrey, who reportedly opened fire at them. A shootout ensued and Godfrey was shot and killed. The police recovered an illegal firearm and several rounds of ammunition. He was recently offered bail in the Westmoreland Parish Court on a murder charge. This is the second wanted man from Westmoreland who has been killed during confrontation with the security forces in St. Elizabeth this month. 18 people were arrested on Wednesday during a police operation in Gregory Park, Portmore, St. Catherine, as cops continue to clamp down on violence in the area. Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay says two of them were later charged in connection with the seizure of two pistols loaded with ammunition seized during the operation.
It's the incident on Saturday where a number of houses were burnt. The security forces have been maintaining a very strong presence in the area. They started an operation earlier today, sometime after 5. And the purpose of the operation is to capture some of the individuals who are suspect and persons of interest in the incident, because it is very important that the presence of the security is here and they are carrying out this operation to reassure the citizens that the security forces are in charge of what's happening here. So far they have in custody 3 persons of interest that were named. We are getting information that they picked up a number of persons that they are currently processing, and we are waiting confirmation that one of the division's most wanted, who is a key person of interest in the burning incident, is among those that they are currently processing. So far they have seized 2 illegal firearms and they have 1 person in custody for that offense as well, and it's somebody that they also have an interest in, who they believe can assist in other investigation that they are carrying on in the division.
SSP Lindsay also alluded to what may have triggered the recent incidents in the community.
Based on what the intelligence and the investigation and what they have gleaned so far, men are fighting over dominance, is turf. So at the heart of the conflict, you have different factions, gangs, wanting to control different space, want to control people, want to be in a position that they can exert their authority over them and to drive fear among the community. So where you have persons resisting that now, so they are taking it to a different level. But based on what we know and what we are doing, we are going to do as best as we can to ensure that it is the law that controls place, and it is the security forces that ensure what happened in particular spaces. So we're not going to relent.
Meanwhile, DSP Grant addressed claims that the police are only targeting the Gulf community.
What I can assure the residents of these communities is that the police are working relentlessly in pursuit of all criminals. It doesn't matter where they are from. And what I can say also to the community is that one of those firearms that have been recovered so far is in the Clarks Lane community. So it is, not fair to say that the police are targeting one neighborhood and not the other. We are in every community of Gregory Park. You may see a fraction of the police in Gulf, but there is a fraction of the joint forces in Mexico, in Christian Gardens. There's a fraction in Watson Grove. There's a fraction also in Banga Gully. There's a fraction also over in the bushes of the Dyke Road, which they don't know about. So this is a wide-scale operation that was deliberate in finding these criminals and hold them accountable for the atrocities that they have committed in Walker's Avenue. We are along Walker Avenue right now, and despite the fact that there was an incident in Walker Avenue, we spare no one, and we came here and recovered the next firearm at 37 Walker Avenue. and we have arrested an individual. So wherever the intelligence leads us, that is where we are going to go. So what I can say further to the residents that have no fear. Members of the security forces are here to protect you, to restore some semblance of calm to the area, to reassure citizens of the presence of the police, and to restore peace and the tranquility that they so deserve.
To follow up with just your point that you raised, what we find is that it's a regular phenomenon we see where criminals are allowed to thrive in many communities because the community support them in one way or the other. So here we have incidents where persons are dying, persons are losing their homes, but yet when the police and the security forces are carrying out the operation, whether they're doing it out of fear, they are forced to go out there and to say things to give an impression that the security forces are not for them. The security forces are there to protect the law-abiding citizens. And we know that there are times when sometimes you see they are protesting, they are saying all manner of things. It's because of the fear and because of the control of these criminal practitioners in the area, where you will hear people coming out and going against the security forces. But then when you speak to them on a one-on-one basis, they are very relieved.
Residents affected by Saturday's firebombing in Gregory Park are set to receive further assistance from members of the opposition People's National Party. Mayor of Portmore Leon Thomas was among the group of PNP officials who toured the community on Wednesday. PNP General Secretary Dayton Campbell says other assistance will be provided. The case against Assistant Commissioner at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Floyd McLean, was mentioned in the St. James Parish Court today. He was offered bail in the sum of $400,000 with 1 or 2 sureties. He is to report to the Porus Police Station every Tuesday and Thursday. He was ordered to surrender his travel documents and a stop order was placed on him. He is scheduled to appear in court again on August 22nd. McLean was charged with the attempted rape and the sexual touching of a 14-year-old girl who was volunteering at the Montego Bay Fire Department in St. James. The allegations are that the complainant met McLean in his office on Thursday, July 20. It is alleged that McLean attempted to have sexual intercourse with her against her will. She allegedly resisted. McLean is then reported to have fondled her. It is alleged that following the sexual assault, McLean asked the complainant if she could be his girlfriend. She reportedly said no. She then told her aunt about her ordeal. The incident was reported to the police on the same day. McLean, who has responsibility for the brigade's Region 4, joined the brigade 33 years ago and was promoted to senior management just 3 years ago. A man was shot and killed while a 7-year-old is among 2 others wounded in a gun attack in St. Anne's Bay on Wednesday evening. The deceased is 23-year-old Akeem Webb. Reports are that around 8:59 p.m., Webb was playing dominoes at a shop when he was pounced upon by gunmen who opened fire, hitting him. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Webb, another man, and the 7-year-old were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital where Webb was pronounced dead and the others admitted. A probe has been launched into the incident. A man accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl in Jacks River, St. Mary, was chopped to death by an angry mob. He is 34-year-old Negus Da Costa, a taxi driver of Oxford in the parish. It is alleged that about 3 p.m. on Wednesday, the teen took a vehicle driven by Da Costa to Orcabessa. Upon reaching Orcabessa Square, Da Costa reportedly drove with her to the James 1 beach, where he stopped the car and sexually molested her. An alarm was raised and residents pursued Da Costa, who was held in the vicinity of a playfield. He was chopped to the back of the head. He was taken to the Port Maria Hospital where he died. The teen was taken to hospital for medical examination. The Clarendon police are investigating the death of a 62-year-old man whose body was found in his yard with its head bashed in on Wednesday in Ali District, Lionel Town. He has been identified as Derek Bandu of 5th Avenue in the community of Aledonia. Reports from the Lionel Town police are that about 6 a.m., Bandu's body was discovered at the rear of his premises by his neighbor. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Bandu's body was seen under a tree. Investigations are ongoing. A man and a woman are dead after being hit in separate incidents along a section of the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon on Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. The woman is 34-year-old Stephanie Beeson, while the man remains unidentified. In the first incident, about 10 o'clock Wednesday night, Beeson and her partner were in the vicinity of Huntspen when she was hit by a van that did not stop. Jason Scale, the woman's partner, said they had just exited a taxi when the incident happened. Beeson was pronounced dead at the hospital. In the second incident about 4 a.m., approximately 200 meters from the scene of the first incident, a man believed to be of unsound mind was hit by the driver of a Toyota Voxy. The driver then lost control of the vehicle and ended up in a ditch. The mentally ill man died on the spot while the driver was treated at the hospital. A 12-year-old boy from Hope Bay in Portland has been charged for attacking a 13-year-old girl with a machete and then stabbing her with a knife. He was charged on Wednesday with wounding with intent following the incident. Reports from the Hope Bay police are that about 11 a.m., the boy attacked the girl with a machete. An adult intervened and disarmed the boy, the police say. He then reportedly went to retrieve a knife, which he allegedly used to stab the girl in her back. The police were summoned and the teen girl was taken to hospital where she is being treated. The boy was arrested and subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. In business, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica reported that consumer prices for last month peaked at 1.1%. The spike in prices, mainly food and utilities, pushed annual inflation higher for a third month to 6.6%, compared to 6.3% in June and 6.1% in May. The result affirmed the Bank of Jamaica's forecast that the inflation rate may temporarily rise again above their inflation target range of 4 to 6%. The central bank will make its next pronouncement on interest rates on Friday. In sports, two-time national women's sprint double champion Shericka Jackson has given clear indication that she has her sights set on winning the double at the World Championships in Budapest. Jackson said that the odds of her winning the double are good. It is definitely possible. Once I put together everything that I have been doing in training, then anything is possible, she said. When asked if she was aiming for anytime targets, again the response was positive. I have written down targets. I definitely am always writing about what I want to achieve. That is something I have always been doing, even when I was running the 400 meters. While Jackson will start favourite to retain her 200 meters title, she faces a tough 100-meter field that will include the 5-time winner and the teammate Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Marie-Josée Tarlou from the Ivory Coast, as well as American champion Sha'Carri Richardson. And on the entertainment scene, hot on the heels of a 2-week tour of Japan earlier this year, Sizzla Kalonji has launched another album. Titled High Grade, the album is a continuation of a 13-track project released in April that delves into a myriad of issues including love, consciousness, and success. The album was released last Friday and is available on all major digital and streaming platforms. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.